Smash for Switch. This game hasn't even been officially announced yet, and it may not even exist for all we know. Yet people are talking about it, and it's pretty safe to say that if it did come out, it would be something like a Game of the Year edition or an enhanced port of sorts. I mean, just look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's basically just Mario Kart 8, the one from the Wii U, but with all the DLC tracks included, and it also has a new improved battle mode, plus there's more characters and palette swaps, but there's nothing there that's substantially different from Mario Kart 8 to begin with. And it's selling like hotcakes. It's doing great. So, from a business standpoint, why not make a Smash for Switch? It can basically be the same engine from Smash Bros. Wii U, but with extra features from the 3DS version. It can include all the DLC that came there, plus maybe a few new characters, and bam, instant success, millions of copies sold. So, with all that being said, I think it's safe to say that this game is indeed coming. It's just really a matter of when. Well, many predict that Smash for Switch will be announced at this year's upcoming E3 conference. And of course, regarding this game, what's on everyone's mind is, assuming there are new characters, who will they be? What characters are going to be announced? In reality, I believe we're going to see about 7 to 8 newcomers for this game. Maybe some from the start, some as future DLC, who knows? It's going to be very interesting to say the least. Even if there are no more than 8, I can dream, can't I? So, here's my personal list of 12 newcomers for the inevitable Smash for Switch. Now, I just want to clarify that this is not a wish list. Rather, it's my list of predictions of the 12 characters that could be coming, from most likely to least likely. This is what they should do. Let's start off with the obvious. 2 characters I think that are for sure making it in. Ice Climbers and Wolf. For all of you that don't know, there's a whole thing about the Ice Climbers that they were supposed to be in the original game for Wii U and 3DS. But due to hardware limitations, they weren't able to get it running on the 3DS version. And basically, Sakurai and the team decided to cut them completely because they wanted to have the exact same characters shared between the Wii U and 3DS version so that players didn't feel left out. However, there would be no problem with them coming in the Switch version of this game. So, I don't really need to talk about the Ice Climbers. There's plenty of other videos out there about why. It's almost a guarantee that Ice Climbers are coming back to this game, assuming it exists. And now Wolf. Wolf I think would be a great addition. I honestly don't know why he wasn't in the DLC to begin with. I look at him kind of like Lucas. He's somewhat of a clone, but he has plenty of unique attributes and characteristics that would make him different. I always enjoyed playing him. I think it would be fun to have him back. The only thing I would really change is maybe for his final smash, he would have the Wolfen transformation from Star Fox Zero. You know.
Is that the best you can do? Lightning tornado.
You remember that game, right? Next on my list are the Inklings from Splatoon. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that Splatoon has become a major IP within the past few years. Almost anyone with an opinion will say that the Inklings belong in Smash Bros. However, I have a whole theory why they actually weren't included in the last set of DLC. See, I personally believe that their moveset is going to involve a lot of paint flying everywhere, obviously, which is going to take up a lot of particle effects. And I don't think the Smash Wii U engine could handle all those particle effects on top of everything else going on without having some sort of a slowdown. Assuming the Switch is powerful enough to handle all of those particle effects, I think there would be no issue having the Inklings in this time. What would be really neat is if each color palette they shot out different colors of ink. But yeah, Inklings are almost a sure bet to be in. Next, let's talk about the new IP that's on the horizon, ARMS. I think a representative from ARMS is coming in. Most likely Springman or Ribbon Girl, or both, kind of like what they did with Corrin and Robin. Basically, Nintendo is gearing up ARMS to be their next big IP. You know, kind of like what they did with Splatoon and everything. So some characters from this IP just make sense to be included. I think ARMS has enough variety to make some sort of moveset for a character that would be unique. A lot of people are assuming that an ARMS character would just be a clone of Little Mac, but with longer range. And you know, sure, maybe some similarities, but I don't really think so. I think they're going to be unique enough. What would be a nice touch is if their other color swaps represented different characters from that game. But yeah, Springman, Ribbon Girl, some character from ARMS, they definitely deserve to be in Smash Bros. Number 5. King K Rool. Oh boy, I believe in my heart of hearts that King K Rool was the real winner of the infamous Smash ballot. People really wanted this guy. He's a new villain, he's a new DK rep, he's a new heavyweight, he's a new character that actually has emotion, He'd be just a funny goofball. He'd be a great character to play around with. There are plenty of other people that have talked about why King K. Rool would be an amazing addition to Smash Bros. All I'll say is that a lot of people will be happy if King K. Rool comes to Smash for Switch. I know I will. Number 6. Isaac. No, not that Isaac. That Isaac. Most of the assist trophies from Brawl made it over into Smash 4. You know, Lil Mac even became his own character. Yet I was surprised to find out about one assist trophy that didn't make the transition. I always assumed that Isaac wasn't an assist trophy in Smash 4 because he would later be revealed as a DLC character. But I guess I was wrong. But why not Isaac for Smash 4? He's from a smaller Nintendo series with a devoted fanbase. And he would have a very interesting moveset with all his synergy and Jin. They would basically work like magic attacks. Maybe in that regard, he'd play a little bit like Robin, but with the sword and the magic moveset together. It'd be very cool to see. Speaking of Robin, apparently that's his name in Japan. Maybe he was originally supposed to be in the roster, but was taken out so there wouldn't be confusion. I don't know. Either way, Isaac for Smash 4. Before I continue on with my list, I would like to talk a little bit about Decidueye. There's a strong argument for Decidueye to be a character in Smash. CjZero actually made a great video about it, but I personally don't think a new Pokemon will join the roster this time. I imagine Decidueye, along with Incineroar and Primarina, as new Pokeball summons, or maybe interactive hazards on some new stage, but a full character? I mean, it's very possible, but I personally don't think so. The past 6 characters, I feel relatively confident that they could be in Smash for Switch. They're all first party and would fit right in for various reasons. However, the next 6 characters on my list, well, I don't know about. Just warning you now, they are third-party characters, and I know some people are sick and tired of them, but it's pretty likely that more third-party characters are coming in future installments. I mean, remember, 3 out of the 7 DLC characters from Smash 4 were third-party characters. On with the list. Number 7. Solid Snake. I know some of you guys are surprised and all. Yeah, I understand. Like I said, I don't know how likely this is. What with Konami being all pachinko machines and no Kojima, but anything is possible. This is Sakurai we're talking about. Snake would be an amazing asset in Smash for Switch. He had a very interesting moveset and playstyle back in Brawl. I loved playing as him for that exact reason. Now, picture him in a Smash game that fans actually enjoy. And another reason, many Nintendo fans skipped out on the Wii U. Thus, their last Smash Bros. Experience was with Brawl. And the fact that Snake was included in the Brawl roster was a huge deal. If Nintendo would market Smash for Switch in a way that panders to the casual Smash fanbase, the ones that left off with Brawl, that would be great for future sales. Picture it. Remember all your favorite fighters? Well, they're back and better than ever. Except Ivysaur and Squirtle, and we don't really talk about them. If Snake returned to Smash for Switch, that would basically be a big finger to Sony. We have all of your all-star characters in our fighting game. How's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale going for you, huh? I'm only half serious about that last point, but it would be pretty cool if Nintendo scooped up Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon just for good measure. Next on my list, some sort of an indie rep. There's plenty to choose from. Many of them would be a great choice for Smash and seem like they would fit right in. If I had to narrow it down to just one representative for the ever-growing indie scene, I would have to choose Shovel Knight. One of the most famous Kickstarter success stories ever. Shovel Knight pleased many fans of old-school platformers, and you know the games were first released on Nintendo systems before going multi-platform. Plus, Yacht Club Games are currently in the spotlight, with their recent release of Spectre of Torment and the highly anticipated King's Knight campaign. Things are looking good for them. Back during the Smash ballot, I was sure that Shovel Knight was going to be announced, and not only because he had his own amiibo. Back then, if you remember, October 2015, Shovel Knight was really getting popular in the States, but it wasn't yet released in Japan, and I thought, whoa, this is Nintendo's opportunity to pull a reverse Fire Emblem. What do I mean by that? Well, Marth and Roy were included in Melee. Americans haven't gotten their hands on a Fire Emblem game at this point in time, back in late 2001. But the characters were just so cool. They began to spark interest amongst Western fans just from pure curiosity, and thus, Marth and Roy in Melee helped localize Fire Emblem, which is now one of Nintendo's most popular IPs. So, Shovel Knight and Smash, before it was localized, could have greatly boosted interest in Japan. But that was a long time ago, and the opportunity is gone now. Oh well. Shovel Knight is still awesome and would make a great fighter. So those past 8 characters I genuinely think will be included in Smash for Switch. Plus, there's just enough room in the current roster to fit 8 more character slots comfortably. The next 4, they would all be great inclusions, but I don't see their chances quite as likely. I'll try to keep them short. Number 9. Bomberman. A classic video game icon, fans of the series have been asking for him for years. The fact that his new game was a launch title for the Switch only increases his chances. Hudson Soft, they've worked with Nintendo plenty of times in the past. Oh, they're owned by Konami now? Well, I think if Konami does get on board, Snake would have first dibs, but maybe they would double dip. I mean, Capcom did. Number 10. Rayman. I'm not too sure what Ubisoft's relationship with the Nintendo is these days, but a few years ago, they seemed to be best of friends. There were rumors that Rayman was planned to be a character in Smash for Wii U. But then all of that was cut because Ubisoft made Rayman Legends multi-platform. This rumor is only strengthened by the fact that there are Rayman characters as trophies in the Wii U version. Maybe those rumors are fake, who knows. Regardless, Rayman would fit right in with all the other Smash characters. He's a colorful goofball with detachable limbs. He could throw punches from a distance. That'd be cool. What other characters could possibly do something like that? Oh. Apparently, Ubisoft and Nintendo are starting to trust each other again. Maybe we'll see Rayman after all. Number 11. Banjo and Kazooie. The more I think about it, the more I want this duo to appear as newcomers. It's pretty obvious that these guys were a big part of Nintendo's history, and they truly represent the stellar platformers of the N64 era. But now they're owned by Microsoft, and they're as good as obsolete. But hey, this is Sakurai, remember? And apparently Microsoft is willing to work with Nintendo, so that's cool. Plus, I kind of feel like Banjo and Kazooie would get even more hype from fans than Cloud did when he was first announced. More hype than Cloud, is that even possible? Well, I think so. Finally, the 12th newcomer. Well, I think it would be a character that's completely crazy or random. It literally could be anything. But I say, what they should do is represent Rhythm Heaven. If you were following the early leaks before Smash 4 came out, you might remember that rumor about how the Choir Boys were going to be a newcomer, and how that enemy from Rhythm Heaven was spotted in Smash Run. It all seemed very exciting. A character from such a wacky series, how would they even control? What would they play like? Their moveset would have to be something rhythm-based, but how does one incorporate that into a fighting game? If anyone can do it, Sakurai and his team for sure can. I do believe a Rhythm Heaven character will one day be in Smash Bros. But maybe not Smash for Switch. I imagine if he was added now, his moveset would be a bit more than the current engine could handle. Especially if you would control multiple characters at once like you do with the Ice Climbers. The Choir Boys or any Rhythm Heaven character, they would definitely be unique and refreshing, but perhaps they're better saved for a later game in the series. But who knows at the end? This is Sakurai we're talking about. He could include anyone he wants. He could bring back Pichu. Yeah, people like Pichu. I mean, people are saying Minecraft is a popular series. Bring Steve or whatever his name is from Minecraft. Yeah, that works for Smash Brothers. Or, you know, Hetsu, Breath of the Wild rep. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think we're gonna get characters that ridiculous. But, like I said, really have no idea until it comes out. I really do believe that Smash for Switch is coming, and almost certainly will be revealed at E3. Just a matter of time. Let me know what you guys think of my list. What characters would you guys add to Smash for Switch? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, if you like this video, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and can't wait till E3, guys. Thanks for listening.